Every superfan dreams of having that ultimate collectible. Well, we're about to make those dreams come true. This is Superfan Builds.
I'm Tim Baker. I've been a master builder and prop maker in film and television for 25 years. If you can dream it, we can build it. There's nothing my crew and I can't make at Tim Baker Creations.
So today's superfan is named Natasha, and she's a huge fan of Avengers and Iron Man specifically. So she's been nominated by her friend Brandon Hillick, who says that not only is she a huge super fan of Avengers and Iron Man, she's also a super mom and very dedicated to her 2 kids. Okay. Let's check out his video.
Iron Man here to nominate Natasha Vineyard. Definitely perfect for your superfan build. Jarvis, can you pull up a file for me? Natasha is a hard-working single mom. Little Amelia, her 1-year-old, she's totally enthralled with all the superhero movies, as her older daughter Sydney is as well. Now, as far as what you can build, something that engrosses her 2 ultimate loves in her life, first one being me, of course, and then something to do with maybe her baby. I'm gonna leave that to you, Brainiacs. That's my nomination for Natasha Vineyard. All right, Jarvis, let's get out of this.
Well, for our Avengers superfan, we're going to do a HulkBuster Highchair. The HulkBuster is the big suit that Tony Stark wears in the Age of Ultron. We've got so much bulk to work with that we can build that right around a real Highchair. Have the chest plate open up, that way you can access the baby and the tray. To make my ideal work, we're going to have to strengthen the frame of the Highchair. So I'm having Josh create a new steel frame for the HulkBuster.
Make your 45s come down to a 90. We'll make a square box frame on the bottom out of 1-inch steel.
Right.
Sheet it with plywood. Take brakes and put the brakes on the back side.
Just got back the frame. It's all welded, and he's extended it down, and that way they don't flange out as much. Because we have all this new steel, I have something that I can go into, so we can get all of our sculpting completed. With the frame complete, I'm going to start working on the chest piece for the HulkBuster Highchair. Once I get this shape roughed out, then I'll start using some more detailed tools, but for the moment I'm just going to knock off big chunks. I've carved out the bulk of the front piece. Now I'm handing it over to Shawny and Erica to put in detail.
Just absolutely love carving this stuff. You can really get nice detail, and it sands so beautifully. We've simplified the shape of the HulkBuster so it feels more like a baby, and it's looking really cute. If you can call the HulkBuster cute, this is the cute version of the HulkBuster.
I've got a big chunk of my urethane foam. It's just about the right size to do the HulkBuster arms, so I'm going to divide it in half. I hate to see things wasted, but repurposing this foam means you have to scrape off all the old stuff. This one's been coated in epoxy and looks like even some fiberglass resin on the other side. I'm finishing up the forearm sculpt right now. I've got a piece of doweling inside. That'll hold it together, make it really strong. We don't want anyone to bump it and have it break off. I'm getting ready to attach the arm onto our HulkBuster Highchair. It's very heavy, so I'm going to epoxy it. I'm using a 5-minute epoxy to adhere the arm pieces together. I'm working on the hands. It's a real interesting hand sculpt. It's only got 3 fingers. It kind of changes things a little bit, so it's a little different than the usual hands I'm used to doing. I'm at that point with the HulkBuster Highchair that I'm going to cut open the chest and make that into a set of doors. They got to open up so that you can actually put the baby in, feed him, put the tray on there, all that kind of stuff. With these elements, I can cut back and forth and make it kind of a pattern, and that way when it opens up, it'll kind of lock together like a puzzle. We've got the hinges working here. The doors open up fine, and you open them all the way, and you can put the tray in so you can feed your little tyke. And I'm going to have Rachel create a new Iron Man cushion for the seat.
This is the seat that originally came with our high chair, and we're going to make it a little bit more Iron Man-esque. We're sewing this darker fabric, which is more like the suit that Tony Stark wears underneath his Iron Man costume. So we're going to replace this turquoise trim with this red and yellow, so it'll match that HulkBuster suit a lot better. I finished the HulkBuster high chair cushion, and here I put it on the original seat, and you can see that it fits perfectly.
Stark's known for his arc reactors, so I got a couple of very strong LEDs, and I'm going to be shining them through just a piece of plexiglass that I've sanded to fog it up a little bit. I built the frame of the arc reactor into the high chair itself, but we'll just blast some of this light through there. That'll give us our arc reactor on the high chair. The HulkBuster sculpt's all done, so now we're going to give it a hard coat. We're using epoxy resin for that, and we're just adding a drop of red color in there. It kind of acts like a base for a paint, but also means that we can tell what we've covered and what we haven't. This stuff is really clear, so if you don't have any color in there, it's hard to tell what you've covered. So the last thing to install are the hands. Well, the resin's dry, it's time for paint. I'm using an HVLP paint gun to put on a base coat of red for the HulkBuster. Once that dries, I'll use a second coat before handing it off to Erica for detail work.
So now that the red has been based out for the HulkBuster, we're going to add our gold and silver accents just to bring out some of these latches and buckles and any little pinstriping detail work for the seams between the plates.
And then this guy's ready for delivery to our super fan.
So Natasha, we're here today because Brandon nominated you as the ultimate Avengers and Iron Man super fan. And it looks like your little one is as well.
Yeah, she's a huge fan for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your love for the Avengers and when that all started.
Honestly, it started when I was a kid. I was, kind of an outcast and weird, and comic books were my outlet. Amelia and I are huge Iron Man fans, and it's just rad.
So Brandon, tell us a little bit about why you nominated Natasha.
She's a single mom, and she works her butt off to provide for 2 gorgeous daughters on her own. That makes it so she doesn't get to do as much as most nerds get to do, like Comic-Con. And I felt that this is the perfect opportunity to bring something that no one else out there, that us nerds will ever have, she could bring home and share with her family only.
And Natasha, I have to say, just looking around this living room, I think you've done an excellent job of bringing your nerddom as an adult and as a parent into the home.
This is our living area, and we all enjoy this space. What's Iron Man do?
That's the best thing ever. All right, so because you are the ultimate Avengers Iron Man super fan and a super mom, we've gotten Tim Baker of Tim Baker Creations to create a one-of-a-kind collectible that you and Amelia will be able to share together. Are you ready to see it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Whoa, you guys have the ultimate Iron Man HulkBuster Highchair to share.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
What do you think?
Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. Yay, ugly cry. You're going to turn my baby into Iron Man.
Yeah.
So Tim Baker and his team started with a functional high chair and reinforced it with a steel frame. Then they sculpted the HulkBuster body out of foam. They coated it, sealed it, and then gave it this awesome paint job. And if you notice, it has its own little working arc reactor that you can turn off and on just down here.
Oh my God, this is insane.
And it also opens up when you're ready to use it so that Amelia could get right on in there.
Yeah. She has to climb in. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
So I would say it's a pretty safe bet that Natasha, you are the only fan to have an Iron Man HulkBuster Highchair. How do you feel about that?
Oh my God, super fan builds. This is nuts.
Awesome. So another satisfied super fan.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you've got a super fan that you would like to nominate, you can do that by emailing us at superfanbuilds@break.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I think it's feeding time. Yeah?
I get John to help me welding on this. I hold everything in place, make sure I have clearance for the crystal, and John comes in and welds it from behind with the MIG. After welding, we quench the staff so that we can handle it.